What began as a fun-filled Sunday with people enjoying riding their off-road vehicles in the wide-open desert turned into a nightmare for some residents who live near state-owned land. Our Digging Deeper team uncovered evidence and complaints which show how things in that area are getting out of hand. News 4 Tucson's Lupita Murillo with the complaints and how it's getting resolved.
It's called Sunday Fun Day, but there's nothing fun about it to many of the residents who live there. Reckless driving, dust kicking up into homes, and people shooting their guns illegally are just some of the issues residents in a Southwest Side neighborhood are complaining about.
Can you zoom out and see all the dust? That's 10-4.
This is exclusive video News 4 Tucson obtained from the Pima County Sheriff's Department as they patrol the area of Valhalla and Valencia in a crackdown authorities have dubbed Operation Desert Silence.
As you can see, the dust that these individuals are creating by just ripping up and down the dirt. Deputy
Daniel Barajas works the Directed Patrol Unit. They address quality of life issues for residents in the San Javier district.
Quads racing up and down the area. You can't see. It's just a recipe for disaster.
There are multiple safety concerns when vehicles and people, including children, line the desert. We dug deeper into the numbers and found on one Sunday in August, law enforcement encountered as many as 300 people in just one afternoon. Clouds of dust from the area could clearly be seen for miles around.
It goes up in the air and it travels for miles. It just looks like a haboob, affecting Tucson. But that's created by all these vehicles just racing up and down the desert.
That's not all that occurs.
My house got hit by a stray bullet.
The resident asked not to be identified, but he did tell us he is just one of many that have experienced problems with the people who attend Sunday Fun Day.
I guess people believe that, hey, what goes up stays up. No, it comes down. Just don't understand that it's going to probably hurt somebody, maybe somebody's kid.
That's also a huge concern for the Sheriff's Department.
We have received calls from other neighbors where the residents have been hit by stray bullets.
Deputy Barajas adds the large crowds that gather are risking serious injury or worse as they treat taxpayer-owned land like their private sandbox.
When you congregate with over 100 vehicles or 200 vehicles out there and people out there start drinking and they're recklessly driving, because they think it's in a desert area, they can start firing off firearms, not knowing that the residents are nearby. That becomes a very safety concern for everyone out there.
The neighbors also complain about the noise and the massive amounts of dust. Deputy Barajas explains the action begins at 4 p.m. and when it gets dark is when people begin firing off guns. The Sheriff's Department is cracking down on Sunday Fun Day, joining forces with Arizona State Lands along with the Game and Fish Department. Numbers we obtained also show authorities have been involved in pursuits, recovered stolen vehicles, and have had more than 24 deputies involved in Operation Desert Silence.
We went out there, addressed the situation by posting signs as regards to the laws of the off-highway vehicle regulations and rules out there.
They also have heavy enforcement every Sunday.
And we see that it's become a hazard. We have to tell everybody to leave, and they have to abide by our directives. And if they do not, at that point, then they can or maybe be arrested at that moment.
Another issue, the state-owned land used to be in the middle of nowhere, but houses now stand within a mile from the area, making it a problem for the residents. Digging deeper, Lupita Murillo, News 4 Tucson.